Okay, so there's an update from my hometown in Vancouver when it comes to the FIFA World Cup. And it doesn't look very good, and I'm assuming Toronto's going to be the same way as well. Canada is not exempt from this clown show that we call FIFA. But what really pisses me off about this is that people that do want to visit Vancouver, not for the FIFA World Cup, are also priced out as well. This is a personal one for me, and I'm going to vent about this at the very end. But the level of greed when it comes to the FIFA World Cup, I think it's starting to change from like being the golden ticket to just somebody buy my ticket, please, or somebody buy my rent my hotel. Because you can see on the screen right here, September 28th, the price of a ticket was $921. Now it's only a third of the price. And while prices might be coming down in Vancouver and possibly Toronto as well, they're still pretty high in the United States. So we're going to talk about all of this in this video, and let's start off with a video out of my hometown in Vancouver.
Come on in.
Will it be a tourism boom or bust? That's what some business owners are now asking themselves a month out from the FIFA Men's World Cup in Vancouver.
In some cases, we're still waiting, I think, for people to understand, where they want to go, which city they want to pick.
Sounds like a little bit of hopium if you ask me. Now, international visitors to Canada, they don't have the problems at the border that the United States has. We don't have ICE and CBP that's going to be harassing tourists coming into our country. Now, in the beginning, I actually thought Canada and Mexico would do fine. People would avoid the United States and go to Canada and Mexico. But clearly, that's not the case right now. And that only leaves two factors on why people are not coming to Canada or Mexico for the FIFA World Cup. Number one, ticket prices. And number two, hotel prices. And the second one, being the hotel prices, is screwing it up for Vancouver and Toronto. For the people who don't give a shit about the FIFA World Cup and just want to visit the city. And yes, I'm going to vent about this later. But as for this hotel owner, the only option you have right now is to lower your prices. Now, I did a spot check on this person's hotel, and she runs the Times Square Suites Hotel, which is on Denman and Robson Street. It's in more of an older residential area in downtown Vancouver. And there used to be a good ramen restaurant right across the street. I say used to because the quality of it just went downhill. But anyway, that's for another video. But I did a spot check on her hotel, and this booking that I'm showing on the screen right now is from like the 11th of June to the 14th. So the weekend of the first game. And $399, I guess it's not bad. I mean, before these hotels, like the boutique style hotels, were upwards of like $600. But the fact that the hotels are not booking at this price, which is still overpriced if you ask me, tells me the visitors are not coming to Vancouver. And yes, I'm going to vent about this later. I mean, this is personally hitting me, so I'm going to vent at the end.
Vancouver and Toronto are Canada's two host cities. Destination Vancouver says hotel bookings for June are down 20% from the same time last year. One reason? Prices.
Last time I looked, the increase right now is looking at 113% increase in pricing from this time last year.
With some hotel rooms going for more than $500 a night, visitors may be waiting for prices to drop or looking for cheaper accommodation outside the city.
Smart travelers will be looking for a deal. And here south of the Fraser, I think that's what we can offer, a little bit more affordability.
Now, if you're new to my channel, I regularly have Wayne Smith from the Toronto Metropolitan University on my channel. And we're due for another live stream coming up, most likely towards the end of the month. So Wayne, if you're watching this, let me know when you're free. Now, back to this person from the Surrey and White Rock Board of Trade. Yes, it would be a logical thing to do to rent a hotel that's south of the Fraser River. But it's nowhere near the venue and where anything's going to be. If you're staying in a hotel in Surrey, you have to drive downtown. That's a good 45 minutes, maybe an hour during rush hour. You can take the SkyTrain, but those are going to be packed as well. It's just not a convenient thing to do. And when you're on vacation, you want convenience. I mean, at least I do. I don't want to have to take like a Uber to the Surrey Central SkyTrain station and then another 45 minutes to get downtown. Or if I'm driving, be stuck in rush hour traffic. I'm not trying to be a downer on this. I mean, it's logistics. And I'm just being real here. But if people were to go this route, they would have already booked.
Another factor, crowds. Not everyone visiting Vancouver this summer will be here for soccer.
We will see more visitors coming to the province. We're also going to be crowding out some, though. I think there's the people who are coming in, but there's also conferences that aren't happening.
The Men's World Cup was billed by the city and province as big business. But with the final hosting costs still unknown, some are questioning the economic impact.
I don't think it's going to be the boon. It's not going to be the 30 to 40 Super Bowls that maybe we were talking about a year or two ago.
Oh, this is a perfect opportunity to use that video again.
Mayor Ken Sims said it would be a tourism cash cow.
Equivalent of probably 30 to 40 Super Bowls.
But some feel the initial hype was a little overhyped.
Yeah, screw you, Ken Sim. Seriously. I said it before, the real winner of this whole World Cup fiasco is Montreal, because they denied it. So good on you, Montreal.
You're going to have incremental tourism gains, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. But, if this was happening in November, it would be a lot better for Vancouver.
The province says an update on costs, including security, revenues, and economic benefits, is expected by the end of May. The first game at BC Place is set for June 13th. Amelia John, CBC News, Vancouver.
So I would have to imagine the same thing is happening in Toronto as well. And the greed, it happened on both sides of the border. So for any hotels or businesses that jacked up the price trying to think that they had the golden ticket here, you guys did this to yourself. I'm sorry, but I really don't have any sympathy for the businesses that are trying to get rooms booked. But it's not just the hotels and businesses that are freaking out right now. Ticket holders are as well. Scalpers or FIFA or anyone who bought tickets that jacked up the price are now lowering them significantly. Let's take a look at this report from CBC.
Now, with the Men's World Cup right around the corner, you may be still trying to get tickets to a match, and it may now cost you less. Ticketdata.com, a website devoted to tracking ticket prices, says World Cup tickets have seen a steady dip in costs. Keith Pagello is the founder of Ticketdata.com. He joins us now. Keith, first of all, what can you tell us about the trend of World Cup ticket prices, specifically for games in Vancouver?
Thanks for having me. So overall prices for all of the group stage matches as a whole, across all the three host nations, are down about 25% over the past month. So, a substantial decline there.
Now, you have to think, if these people lowered their prices like 2-3 months ago, they might have had a chance to sell their tickets. Because the demographic isn't just in Vancouver. This only works if you're going to a Canucks game. I'll give you an example. When my friends and I, we were broke as fuck in like the early 2000s, we would stand outside Rogers Arena, and the scalpers would be there. I literally only had like $50 for a ticket and like 20 for beer. Oh, and like a couple bucks for the Costco hot dog across the street. If you've been to a Canucks game, you know what I'm talking about. But we would approach the scalpers at like 6:15, and the puck drops at 7. They would say the tickets are $150. I say, screw that, I'm just gonna wait. 6:45 comes by. The ticket price goes down to $100. The scalper says, you better buy it now, puck's gonna be dropping. I say, no, we're gonna wait. As we're listening to the game on our radio, outside of the stadium, the scalper approaches us and says, hey, you guys want these for $40? And one of my friends, being the quote-unquote negotiator that he is, says, no, we're just going to sit here and listen to the game on our radio. Scalper finally says, fine, take all 4 of them for $30 each. And we got to watch a hockey game in the lower bowl for $30. Now, I don't know if that'll work these days, but it might. I mean, my team's still in last place last year. But the point of me telling this story and exposing that I was broke as fuck in the early 2000s is that we had time. If we didn't get the tickets, we just go home. It's different in this case scenario, because the target market for these FIFA World Cup tickets is international people. And if they're seeing from their country overseas that these prices are this high, they're not going to stand outside the stadium and wait and risk not getting tickets. Are you really going to expect somebody to fly all the way from Europe, book a hotel, not have a ticket, and then do the scalper method I did? I really doubt that. You're probably going to get a lot of locals doing it, but not people overseas. So the fact that the ticket prices are going down now within a month, I think it's too late for the international people, and you're just going to have to depend on the local people in Vancouver. I hope my story made sense.
The 5 group stage matches in Vancouver are down a little less than that. They're down about 16% or so, which is also roughly the percentage that Canada's 3 group stage matches are down, also around 15-16%.
I mean, that is a substantial drop. Specifically, if we look at the game between Australia and Turkey set for BC Place, prices have dropped by more than $600 since they were initially released. Where do you see that trend line going? I mean, that's a substantial drop.
It's a substantial drop, but what I kind of like to tell people is the prices for a long time were absolutely sky high, and they're kind of just coming back down to reality, if you will. I think that some of those really high price points, there was never going to be enough fans that were going to purchase at those price points to sustain those prices. And that's kind of honestly what FIFA was trying to do. FIFA is trying to optimize for revenue here, and they sold tickets for high prices when they could. And now, they're trying to move the rest of the inventory, and prices do need to come down to fill those stadiums.
Fill the stadiums. That's the key word. I always thought that no matter how high the prices are, the stadiums would fill up. But after doing my report on the United States, like going around to all the different cities and all the hotel bookings that are not happening, and key cities like Los Angeles that only have 37% booked, I think we actually have a real chance of seeing some empty seats in the stadiums.
This isn't the case just here in Vancouver. Your website also says prices are dropping in almost every other city? Are there any other major standouts for you?
I wouldn't say that there's any major standouts in terms of a couple of cities, say like New York and Miami, have done a better job at holding their price points than some other cities. Let's say San Francisco has come down a lot. But overall, we are kind of seeing this widespread drop across all nations, all cities. That being said, in the past week or so, prices have definitely started to stabilize. So I think we're really getting into crunch time in these final weeks before the tournament. I think people are really starting to get antsy and maybe don't feel like waiting any longer, and that is adding some support to the current price points. So the drop has stalled for the past week or so.
Well, I guess we're going to have to see what happens starting June 1st. And even though tickets might be coming down in Canada, they're not going anywhere in the United States. Let's take a look.
This year's World Cup will be the biggest ever. 104 matches across the US, Canada, and Mexico. It's expected to generate nearly $11 billion and sky-high costs to attend.
But I think it's just way overpriced.
On FIFA's official resale marketplace, staggering prices. The sport's governing body pocketing a 15% fee from both the seller and the buyer.
I mean, that sounds ridiculous, you ask me. You sell your ticket, they take 15%. You buy the ticket, they take 15%. That's why I say, fuck FIFA. The non-profit organization maximizing on profit. Sounds ironic, doesn't it?
If some people put on a resale market, some tickets for the final at $2 million, number one, it doesn't mean that the tickets cost $2 million.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino defended the pricing on the secondary market and joked if someone does pay $2 million,
I will personally bring him a hot dog and a Coke.
Yeah, because you get 15% on the buy and 15% on the sell. And you're only going to give him a hot dog? Cheap bastard.
President Trump, when asked, said even he wouldn't pay $1,000 to watch the U.S. play Paraguay in the opener. California's Attorney General Rob Bonta also not buying in. He sent a letter to FIFA Wednesday seeking answers about potentially misleading ticketing practices after reports that FIFA, quote, sold tickets based on seating categories displayed on stadium maps and later altered those seating categorizations before assigning precise seat locations.
Now, there have been reports in the past where people thought they were buying in, like, say, the better section, I guess, and when it came time to finding out where their seat was, it was in the nosebleeds. That's a shitty tactic if you ask me. I'm just glad I have no interest in football. I mean, I went to a few Whitecaps games, but hockey's my sport. But if I was a football fan and I paid so much for my ticket, only to find out I'm in the nosebleeds, I'd be pissed.
But the sticker shock doesn't stop at the tickets. Cities are responsible for security and transportation costs, some of which will be offset by federal funds. In New Jersey, where MetLife Stadium will host the final, NJ Transit announced round-trip fares at $98. The usual fare, $13 from Manhattan.
That's ridiculous. That's 7.5 times more the regular price. I know this is not new to us, we've heard this before, but I love pointing out the price gouging.
Okay. NJ Transit CEO Chris Kaluri says the increased fare spares daily commuters from carrying the cost of transporting hundreds of thousands of fans.
The fans who are going to the game should bear the burden of the cost.
Vancouver, British Columbia, also pushing back, denying FIFA's request for a police motorcade for Infantino. In a statement, Mayor Ken Sims' office said, any transportation arrangements that are made will be appropriate, measured, and consistent with how Vancouver safely hosts major international events. Here in Inglewood, where the first U.S. match versus Paraguay is set for June 12th, we saw some of the highest tickets on the secondary market, priced at over $45,000.
So let me ask, is anybody going to get a loan or take out a second mortgage just to attend a game? I kind of doubt it. And to be honest, I'm not surprised ticket prices in the U.S. haven't gone down yet. I mean, Canada, it looks like Vancouver is starting to get back to reality. But the U.S., no, I'm not paying $45,000 for a ticket, or 40, whatever it was. Now, I kind of want to finish this video on a little bit of a rant. And it has to do with the first report I did. Because what's happening right now? There are people that do want to go to Vancouver, do want to go to Toronto, that want nothing to do with the FIFA World Cup. And one of those people is me. If you're subscribed to my channel, you would have known that I wanted to make plans to come home this month or next month. But with the jet fuel prices, the higher flight prices, hotels, and even rental cars, I checked on that. It just doesn't financially make sense for me to come home yet. I'm going to be looking towards like maybe end of August, September. I mean, to pay thousands of dollars on top of what it normally should be, it just doesn't make sense for 2 weeks. But I'm just one person. And how many other tourists who wanted to come to Vancouver this summer in the peak season cannot come to Vancouver because of the stupid FIFA World Cup prices. This event that was supposed to be like 30 Super Bowls, in my opinion, is actually going to hurt Vancouver a lot more. And we don't even know what the cost is going to be for security yet. I'm going to definitely make a video on that one when we find out. And I'm definitely not going to hold back on that one. But Vancouver's my home, and I wanted to come home to visit my family and friends. In a normal timeline, I'd probably be back in Vancouver right now. But in the Taco Tuesday timeline, it's just too damn expensive. So yeah, these two reports that came out of Vancouver, I guess it just kind of hit me a little bit harder. Because it is from my home. But I also realized that my home is going to be missing out on a lot of tourism. Because those that did want to come over may have chose a different destination because Vancouver hotels has decided to jack up their price. So yeah, I'm a little choked about that. To close off this video, I would like to thank Lady Cluggin. Did I say it right this time? I'm sorry, I've never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones, so I really don't know. But Lady Cluggin posted this photo of Brockville, Ontario on our Discord server. I would love to be by the water and have a Canadian beer right now. So thank you for posting this in the Discord server and sharing it with the community. Alright, that's all I got for this video. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international point of view, without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And if you want to see more of my videos relating to the FIFA World Cup, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone, I'll catch you in the next one.